STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel. In about 10 years, give or take, the entire stock market will be fully tokenized, right? The entire stock market will be on the blockchain and tokenized. What does this mean? This means you may not be trading Apple stocks anymore. You might be trading Apple tokens, if you will. Personally, I want some Tesla tokens. At this point in time, we know that actually you can trade Tesla on some exchanges in the form of a crypto token. Well, furthermore, we can also see that we've seen articles in the past that have shown that this is something that is happening, and we believe it's going to happen, right? Because we can see that all the pieces are falling in place to make this kind of activity happen. Now, here is why. If we look at this article, right, which we have pulled up here, we'll see that MasterCard is working to help banks offer Bitcoin and crypto trading, right? And see, MasterCard is set to announce this program to help institutions offer Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. They will work with exchanges like Paxos, and the gap between banks, and will manage security and regulatory compliance. This is the part that is extremely concerning to me. MasterCard is not the government. However, they will be in charge, or at least trying to be in charge of regulatory compliance, right? Now, they also go on to state that there is a lot of consumers out there that want crypto, but they're not feeling confident in getting into crypto because it's not offered by their official, centralized, traditional financial institutions. What are your thoughts on this, Double Up?
That's just a whole lot of stuff to attack here. Let me attack it real quick.
Soon as your camera is no longer blurry, there you go. You're back.
On the okay, first and first,
Right.
crypto, the altcoins, they are simply companies that goes ICO instead of IPO. Right? IPO is of your grandpa and your grandma. ICO is of modern day. Right? The same regulations that apply to IPO applies to ICO. But it's a much faster and efficient process. But what they're trying to do now, this is why.
Is it faster and efficient because there's no regulation? It's just Wild West activity?
No, because they're all connecting the. You still need to get the. Yeah. You're right.
I'm just wondering.
CFTC, the SEC,
Right.
all the feds, they're all trying to take control of this new technology.
Right.
Because now, as a company, I can detach the value of my company from all the economic drama and just be fully, I like this company, I use the product, I have a token of the company. Instead of IPO or stock or security or equity, where there's all this external influence. You have to have the right money, the right power. You have to have made money over $1 million for so many years before you can IPO. ICO doesn't require that. All you need is a company, the ability to raise money. New generation stuff. This is why MasterCard have seen that opportunity and they want to get ahead of it by jumping to say, hey, we'll do it for you. Before you know it, the older companies are going to say, why are we not tokenizing? Everybody else knows ICOing.
Yeah.
That is the number one big thing. The current establishment want to maintain that power and that wealth transfer they keep talking to you about, and they keep distracting you with, oh, your grandpa is going to retire and die and transfer you his house or his retirement account. That is not the real world transfer. The real world transfer is digital and it's happening so fast you're not paying attention.
Absolutely. I think
it's right here in your face. It's right here in your face.
It's too late. Most people are going to miss this, unfortunately. And I think at some point, if you don't have Bitcoin, well, you will learn why that is such a bad idea. Right?
Drop the ball.
But it's not just MasterCard. Definitely drop the ball there. It's not just MasterCard. We see that other banks as well are buying crypto assets like crazy
Yeah.
at the moment, right? And
Yep.
these are some other points which you also brought up here. And I think that they're all valid because it all really ties this together. Banks influencing policymakers so that they can control the situation. We saw this back in the day with remember when we did the stock
White
market
House fact
video,
sheet.
the market crash video? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the market crash.
Yeah, the market crash video, and how the banks way back then essentially lobbied the government, took over the whole situation, and put banks in place, and even took out other banks from competing with them.
Yep.
This is carbon print, man. It's the same thing.
Yep.
Return on investment in crypto, right? It seems that it's way more aggressive than anything that you see in the stock market. I mean, if you look at the S&P compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has clearly outperformed the ever-living crap out of the S&P in less than half of the time,
Yep.
right? 24/7 trading is also something that comes with this, which opens these things to the whole world. And I think that this is really cool, but also very dangerous because imagine the banks now capturing these capital markets globally in the same contraption,
America, baby, America.
you know?
It's a
Even might
risk,
wanna
but
check
it's a major it's a major opportunity for the US to
Yeah.
bring out the global funds into the country, though.
into the country. And well, look, man, I think at the same time, as great as that is for the US, what does that mean for your personal freedoms?
True.
You know, money is great. But you know what's even greater? Freedom. Exactly. Now, the other thing too is when we look at banks, we know that everything that they do, they have to be profitable within it, right?
Hey.
Right now, you could go buy your bitcoins for free somewhere. Okay, you could use Strike, 0 fees, or you could use Coinbase and whatever else these guys will be offering in the future, which I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sort of a service fee or charge of some sort. These people come up with fees for everything, man.
It's the
These are the same
bank.
people who charge people. What is it? Is it $25 or $35 overdraft fee? For no reason, man. They just came up with that amount out of nowhere. As a matter of fact, we know that banks make almost more money in profits in overdraft fees than they actually do in whatever business they are doing because they actually do no business.
They charge
You
you
know.
a fee for moving money that they actually do nothing with. The software does all the work.
We watched the video the other day with Kevin O'Leary responding to Jamie Dimon. Nobody needs that. They provide
Yep.
no value to society.
Yep.
That's for a fact. If you can hold your own bitcoins in your wallet, these guys provide you no value. So
Decentralized ledger. You know,
Exactly.
Nobody's putting pen on paper and saying, "Oh, let me write a ledger. I moved 10 naira to
Right.
Shay's account yesterday." No, man, those days are over. What can you even buy with 10 naira these days?
Oh man, dude, that is so crazy. Now, we have this. You brought up another point about a stock market crash coming up, led by central banks, which will lead the way to big corporations deciding to go the tokenization approach.
Yeah.
Can you share more details on that? What is your
Yeah.
thought process on that one?
I think corporations are gonna get to a point, kind of like what happened during the COVID situation, where everybody thought the market was gonna keep crashing, but we wake up the next day and the market just started making a U-turn.
Ripping up, yeah.
There's gonna be a point of frustration for the big banks and the investors to say, "I am done with the central banks," because the central banks, their role is to maintain the value of the currency. They don't care about you as a business, really, to say. They just want to keep the country at number one or
Yeah.
at whatever it is that they want. So inflation, deflation, the whole inflation process and why the US dollar has been pumping is because the value of the dollar has gone up because it's going to cost other countries that have taken debts or spend money in US dollars, it's going to cost them a lot more to make it up. That's why the US dollar has been pumping, right? So,
Yeah.
like what happened with COVID, investors are just going to say, we're done with the central banks. We're done with whatever policymakers are doing. we're just gonna do our own thing. Which is why we see a major detachment between main streets and the stock market. This thing has been detached for what, since 2007, 2008 now. Stock market does something different than what people are going through. Recession, recession, recession. People are talking about $21 trillion of SPY expiring on Friday, but SPY is going the opposite way. You have the
That is
bond
true.
market in Europe going crazy, but the market is trying to come back.
Yeah. The markets are definitely not longer attached to the economy, which is what it's supposed to be. The markets are supposed to represent the state of the economy. But it seems like now it's just more like a game for the extremely rich.
And that's why you have, what's his name saying he's trying to use interest rates to fix the economy, but it's crashing the stock market, but the economy still seems like it wants to be healthy. People still
Yeah.
want jobs. There's a lot of jobs out there, but you're still trying to destroy people's lives.
Yeah. Well, if you keep them broke, you keep them vulnerable, it's easier to control them.
Yeah.
You also bring up something interesting there, which is this. It sounds like you're saying that there will probably become a struggle of power between the governments and the corporation, and maybe other three-letter organizations like IMF or wherever those people are.
It's gonna be a struggle, but it's also going to be some level of collaboration. You already see that with Ethereum, right? The World Economic Forum has fully adopted Ethereum into their system. The ability for them to just print money into tin here,
Yeah.
right? That works for the policymakers and the governments. For the businesses, it does not work because the businesses do proof of work. They put in work for them to make their companies grow. Companies are proof of work, but the moment companies start
Banks
moving,
are not
I don't
proof of work though.
yes, but oh yeah, okay, yeah. There is the service providers. What are banks? They are an extension of central banks, federal banks, and
Banks are
commercial
scammers.
banks.
Banks are
Commercial
scammers.
banks.
They're scammers.
Yeah.
Because this is why I say they're scammers, okay? Think about this, Kenny. I come up to him like, yo, see, you've been working hard. You've been saving all this money all these years. Amazing. Can I hold it for you?
I like how you softly said it too, man. The guys with the suits.
Yeah, man. That is really all it is. Can I hold the money for you? With no reason. Why wouldn't you want to hold your own money? Do you not have a use for it? Don't you have a family to take care of? Why are you giving me your money?
Because
Why are
you
you
told me
benefiting from it?
because you told me that you'll give me back to me, give me some back with some interest, or that you can protect it for me.
Okay, fine. Let's say I'm going to give it back to you with some interest.
Yeah.
2% interest. Is that nice? Inflation is now way over 10%. Now what?
That goes about the bonds too, because that's the other trick. They tell you, oh, we'll give you 4% for a 10-year yield, 4% for real.
Banks are a living scam, bro. There's kind of no way around it. People held their cash. There's a reason why they say putting your cash under the mattress, because that's how people stored their money before. Okay, people held their own value in their own hands. People held their gold in their own hands. Banks came up as a means of security at some point, right? Securing your funds. At this point in time, you can store your money securely without a bank. Let's talk about FDIC in short, because I think people will think about that. Let's say you have over $250,000, right? And you get scammed, hacked, whatever the case might be, right?
Banks
But
to get hacked.
think about what it takes for you to get to a point where you have lost all of the money in your account, and now FDIC has to kick in. You are definitely moving on the wrong path. Okay, there are people out here with billions of dollars in their accounts every day, and they're not getting hacked. For you to get hacked, scammed, something, you must participate, right? But forget about it. Let's say you now get ripped for $1 million. FDIC will give you back 250 max. Is that enough? Banks are scams, bro. Period.
Word of the day.
All right. I have nothing else, sir. Any final thoughts?
As always, if you
Like.
have not liked, subscribed, check it out. We're here for you.
Incredible.
You want to say something about what we just talked about? Or you got something to say about banks? or that the fact that in 10 years we're all gonna be tokenized.
Isn't it?
Hopefully on the Bitcoin standard.
Standard, you know. Well, drop the comments down below, man. I want all the smoke. I'm ready to roast some people in the comments. I'm kidding. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. By the way, we have crossed 400 mark. Okay. Next up, 500. We will not be stopped, and we'll make it there because you are going to help us get there. Because we're A1 team like that. Us and yourself. Abby, I feel like I slaughtered that English there, but it's okay.
Wow.
Until next time. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Brazen out.
Double O.
Hey.